Hey there, Nopenguin here. I'm not gonna beat around the bush. The ban list hurt. It definitely did a number on the Penguin deck and its overall power level. However, after some intense labbing over the last day or so, I think I've got Penguins back to a place of actual compatible viability. I have 3 builds to showcase here right now, but only one of them I'm really confident in. So, let's go into the deck lists. Our first and best list is Pure Penguins. Yes, just like before, Pure Penguins is actually the best way to play Penguins because it gives you the ability to play the most amount of interaction, hand traps, protection, all that sort of things. When you add other archetypes and combos and other things in there, it not only muddies the deck and makes it less consistent, but it leaves little room for actual hand traps and really any kind of interaction. So I feel like a Pure build is the most viable. Now, obviously, we no longer have Verte, so we cannot go into DPE. However, Konami decided they didn't want to ban Scythe. So guess what? I'm just gonna keep abusing it. Yes, and how are we doing that? halq Fibrax combos. God, please don't ban him. God, please. While we still have halq Fibrax, he's still an amazing tool to get us into our combos. With only a 1-card starter of Deep Sea Diva, we are able to get into Artifact Scythe into Barone, which is just amazing. But with that, let's go into the card by card. You should all know the Penguin lineup by now. We have 3 Great Emperor Penguin, 3 Penguin Squire, 1 Nightmare Penguin, 1 Nopenguin, 2 Glacial Beast, 1 Penguin Ninja, 1 Puny Penguin, and 1 Penguin Soldier. Not much has changed here, except for the fact that Nightmare Penguin is now an absolute mainstay in the deck. Not only does it make your Penguin Soldier a soft garnet instead of a hard garnet, it also helps with our Great Emperor Penguin combos, giving us access to Barone. And the 1-card starter herself, Triple Deep Sea Diva. One of this, summon another one, go into halq. That's all you need to know about Deep Sea Diva. That, and it is a water monster, which is important for something later. Hand traps, we have 2 Ash Blossom, 2 Veiler, 1 Ghost Spell, and 1 Ghost Ogre. Now, I am playing 1 in 1 of both Ghost Spell and Ghost Ogre, as I really wanted to make my designators a lot more alive. I thought about siding these cards, but I ended up deciding that there's no reason I wouldn't want at least one of these in most matchups, so I figured having one of each was a good compromise. And here is our new halq target, Fishborg Launcher. As long as all the other monsters in the graveyard are water, this can actually special summon itself back from the graveyard to extend in our link plays. This slot could also be Jet Synchron if you're scared about your hand traps messing up the waters in your grave, but one thing to remember about Jet Synchron, you have to discard to be able to special summon it back, which is why I like Fishborg Launcher, as it's something that we have access to that most decks really don't. And of course, the boy himself, Scythe. Why didn't you ban this, Konami? Triple Royal Penguin Gardens and triple Pot of Prosperity, we want to hit one of our combo starters as soon as possible, so we want to play as much search as we can. Triple Crossout Designator. There are a lot of targets in the deck, and especially with Penguins, this is almost a mainstay, as there's a lot of vulnerable points within your combo, and you want to put as much protection as you can for that. Like if you were to use your Great Emperor Penguin, you want to make sure they're not going to Ash that. If you activate your Deep Sea Diva, you don't want them to Veiler it. You always want to protect your plays, and playing this at 3 is a must for Penguins. 3 Forbidden Droplets. It's good on its own, but it's also a target for Crossout Designator, as I found that Droplets really destroys a lot of the boards you can build with this deck. 1 Called by the Grave, 1 Monster Reborn, and 2 Infinite Impermanents. On to the extra deck. We have Ruddy Rose Dragon, Chen Ying, Barone, Borreload Savage, Dragite, Black Rose Dragon for the Ruddy Rose, Penguin Brave, TG Wonder Magician, which is the target for halq almost 100% of the time. But for those 1% chance, we also have the Formula Synchron. This allows us to use our spent Penguin Braves and going into a Dragite or a Borreload for extra negation, or a spent Dragite and Borreload into a Barone. Links, we have 1 Access Code, 1 Appaloosa, 1 Selene, 1 Dagda, 1 halq Fibrax. I would so love to play this card at 2, but it's limited. And 1 Link Rebo, necessary for the halq combo. Now, this isn't only my most preferred Penguin list, this is also the Penguin list I am going to be taking to this month's Chalice Monthly, so wish me luck there. I feel that I could scum a win and hopefully make it into that top cut. Now, before we go into a replay for the Pure Penguin build, I want to go and look at the other builds that I was toying with while labbing this. Here is Burning Abyss Penguins without the Burning Abyss. So this started off by me just copying over my Burning Abyss Penguin list and kind of just trying to modify it with the ban list, but I soon found out that I really don't need the Burning Abyss engine within this deck at all. I didn't really care for going into the Phantom Knight side of things. I didn't care about any of that. What I found was that Orphis Scorpio can search Fusion Destiny. So what we have here is a deck that excels at extending link combos, getting us into, of course, Dagda, and Orphis Scorpio, which we have so many ways to get to it, both the Lone Fire, the Small World, to try to search the Fusion Destiny. Because, god damn it, this card is still a problem. Of course, this deck is a lot more inconsistent than my pure build, which is why I decided to go with that over this, but I thought that the Orphis Scorpio Fusion Destiny interaction was pretty neat. And finally, I also toyed with Ice Jade Penguins. Now, I do feel like we do have potential with this deck, I just haven't found it yet. I feel like if I lab this a bit more, I could consistently find a way to get both a combo off, as well as ending on the Curse Lock, because this card is ridiculous. Unfortunately, I have not found it yet, therefore it stays here until further notice. Back with the pure Penguin build, I am so happy with how this build has turned out. Not only is it pretty consistent, I've also been able to make it a 40 card deck as opposed to the 48 deck of the pre-Banlist deck. Not having to run the DPE materials is so good for not making my hands garbage. Without further ado, let's get into the replay. I only have one today because I just wanted to get this video out here. I spent a lot of time labbing this. And our replay is up against Branded. Luckily, I do get to go first. I will Pot of Prosperity for 3. I really can't afford to go 6 unless I really need it. I just grabbed the Ash Blossom, my Penguin getting it here, and I can't go for the 2.5 card combo because not only is the launcher in hand, but I can't discard the other two because that will stop launcher from going off. So I'm just doing the regular halq Fibrax combo, but I think that's good enough. Because there's no waters in my graveyard, I could go launcher and end on this. Doesn't seem too impressive until they try to change the heart. I activate Dagda, activate the halq Fibrax, get up Magician, set the Scythe, and when a Magician will pop that, bringing us a level 5 monster to the field that we can now quick synchro into Barone. Now, I don't know why they changed the heart exactly that, but I don't think it really mattered. One thing I want to note is that we did lose a card in hand because we drew the launcher. Not only that, if we had drawn Deep Sea Diva, we could have done this with as low as 1 card. I did try to get more replays, but the replays I was able to get all kind of ended in the same spot, and it wasn't too terribly interesting just to see the same replay over and over and over. One thing that did scare me is in each of the replays, I drew the launcher. I'm not sure if the Eater Pro Shuffler is out to get me, but I hope this is not emblematic of my future. Once again, I'll be putting my money where my mouth is, and I'll be taking this to MBT's Chalice Slime Monthly this Saturday. So if you see me in the top cut, don't be surprised. Peng, best deck, baby. Thank you all for watching. Like if you liked the video, subscribe if you want to see more. This is Nopenguin, Penguin Extraordinaire, signing out.